Hello, hi, good afternoon. Sorry, what a way to start the broadcast. There's been some technical issues here, but I think we're back online. So hello, good afternoon. My name's Catherine Kennedy. I'm the New South Wales Director here at P2P, and it's 12:30 on a Friday, certainly on the east coast of Australia. So it's time for our regular employment market update. Ordinarily, our Group MD, Mark Smith, would be your host, but he's asked me to step in today. I'm very happy to do that. So thank you for joining us. We're live on Facebook, on LinkedIn and on YouTube. So whatever platform you're on, you can add comments or questions as we go through. So please, I'd encourage you to do that. I'm in the beautiful lower Blue Mountains today, and it is an absolutely stunning sunny autumn day. And Jaden's just put a picture up there because I did want to give a little bit of a plug for my local area. There is actually an ultra trail competition happening this weekend. So there's, I think, literally thousands of really fit people running around the Blue Mountains National Park, including around that beautiful iconic site that you can see on screen there at the moment. So, but it's just such a lovely time of year in the Blue Mountains at the moment. So if you live anywhere near Sydney, I would encourage you to take a little day trip up here because I know a lot of the local hospitality venues, etc., have suffered a little bit through COVID. So I'd encourage you to get up here, although maybe not this weekend unless you fancy running 50 or 100 Ks around the place. So anyway, that's not why we are here. That's just my little plug for the Blue Mountains, but we are here for our employment market update. So what's in store today? Well, we've got the regular numbers section. Obviously, the federal budget came out this week, so certainly share some insights that have come through from that. We'll be joined by Hannah Nielsen from our legal support team in Sydney, so she's got a couple of opportunities to talk to us about, and also Chloe Manassa from our supply chain team, also in Sydney, so very New South Wales centric today. She's got a supply chain or a role within the supply chain discipline to talk to us about as well. So, and then as always, we've got the results of our Twitter poll. So there was a poll last week. We've got another one this week. So I'll make sure that we share that info. But please, as I said, I'll do my best to see comments as they come through and get to them. So if you've got a question that comes up as we go through, just add it there and we'll make sure that we get to it as best we can. So that's the plan of attack. And let's get into it with our regular numbers section. Okay, so as I said, obviously the big news this week was that the federal budget was handed down on Tuesday evening. So whilst there's no guarantees, there's certainly a lot of assumptions that are built into a budget such as this. What was very clear is that the Australian economy is recovering faster than expected, and there's some pretty positive. There was some positive news that came out on Tuesday, and certainly some forecast. The forecast is more positive than expected. So the unemployment rate is actually forecast to drop below 5%, actually just 4.5% by June 2024, which is the lowest that it's been since the GFC. So that is an indication of the shape of the economy, and it's certainly it would reflect what our experience has been at the front line in the employment market. What is interesting, and if you pop the next slide on, Jaden, there is an interesting relationship between the unemployment rate and wage growth. And so the decrease in unemployment rate is not necessarily bringing any substantial wage growth or any substantial wage growth in the way that it may have done in previous cycles. So the graph that's on screen I know is very busy, so apologies if it's a bit hard to see all of the detail, and I'll make sure that I link to the data, which is live data, and you can click through it. We'll make available in the comments. But essentially, what this graph is showing us, so the vertical axis shows wage growth, the horizontal axis shows unemployment. That top set of numbers and that top line is some time ago, so the trend from 1998 to 2012, and the bottom set of numbers and the bottom trend line is more recent data, so 2016 to 2020. So in very recent times, so December 2020, so less than 6 months ago, unemployment was just over 6.5% and wage growth was just 1.5%. So if you contrast that to the earlier period, the 98 to 2012 period, when wage growth was at 3.5 to 4% for a similar unemployment rate. So really interesting in terms of the disconnect or the differences between the unemployment rate and what's happening with wage growth. And even the forecast coming out of the employment forecast to drop to 4.5, wage growth is only expected to marginally improve. So I think the forecast is to about 2 to 2.5% by June 2024, whereas at a similar time and it was just pre-GFC, and we know what happened after that, but in March 2018, which is the top set of numbers closest to the left-hand side, unemployment and wage growth were almost the same. So it was about 4% unemployment and 4% wage growth, which obviously was unsustainable. And we ended up subsequently in the GFC. But I think it is it's interesting in the market, because our experience in the employment market with such minimal wage growth is that employers are needing to differentiate in other ways to attract and retain the candidates. So there's not big salary increases that are on offer, and looking at this data, it doesn't look like that's going to be something that happens for the foreseeable future. So employers are needing to differentiate in other ways. So the employer value proposition has never been more important, and for candidates, things like having a very purpose-aligned organisation, having a lot of flexibility and support in various ways, interesting work to be involved in, that's more and more important. It is definitely a factor in attracting and retaining employees. So there's also been some data that came out this week, and if we skip to the next slide, Jaden, that came out from Seek. So Seek is obviously a very large player in terms of job advertisements in Australia. Not every job would be advertised on Seek, of course, and so it's not definitive data. But what was very interesting that came out from Seek this week is that April is the second consecutive record-breaking month of job ads that have been posted on Seek in its 23-year history. So Seek's been around for 23 years. It broke a record in April, and that April broke the March record. So there's more jobs being advertised than ever before, essentially, is what that is telling us. But applications per job ad are at the lowest level since 2012. So lots of roles being advertised, not as many candidates on the hunt. And if you can see what's on the screen there, overall it was just under 12% month-on-month growth from April to March in terms of jobs being advertised, but some really standout performances, I suppose, on the East Coast. So New South Wales and Victoria, more than 15% growth just looking at April versus March. So they're probably the states that were most impacted by COVID and have had the steepest decline and hopefully the steepest rise. But overall, that's a really positive story in terms of availability of job opportunities. If you skip to the next slide, Jaden, what this shows us here is essentially a similar reflection to the slide that we were just looking at, but it also shows the year-on-year growth. So you can see it's a whopping 264% year-on-year growth in terms of jobs being advertised. So the same period this year compared to the prior 12 months, which is huge. Compared to, and if you go to the next slide, Jaden, it shows us candidate availability. So month on month, candidate availability has gone down 14%, and year on year, it's 52%. So really, the demand for candidates has never been greater or hasn't been greater in a long, long time, and the supply of candidates is reducing. So what does that mean in the market? Well, it means, as I said, that it is becoming more and more a candidate-driven market. That's definitely evident. But when employers don't have money necessarily as a bargaining tool, or it's just not something that they're able to offer, then it's all of those other attraction and retention factors that are really coming to the fore. So I just thought that data was interesting, and I can share some links in the comments so that you can, if you wanted to look at the detail of that a little bit more. But all indicators that the Australian employment market and the Australian economy is definitely looking in good shape. And if you're a job seeker, then you're likely to see more and more opportunities coming out to the market as well. So that is the numbers section. What we'll do now, we've got a video from Marissa Verudo from our Western Sydney team, and she's got a particular opportunity. So we'll just show that for you now.
Hi everyone, it's Marissa from P2P in Parramatta. Thank you for tuning in to our P2P Facebook Live. I've been engaged to recruit a number of customer service and administration-based roles all across Western Sydney. I'm looking for candidates who have worked in a contact centre environment and have experience in taking high volume calls, order entry, complex problem solving and complaints handling. I'm looking for candidates who have a demonstrated ability of building rapport, excellent communication skills and who demonstrate a can-do attitude. These opportunities are permanent full-time and offer shifts Monday through to Sunday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m, offering salaries anywhere between 50 to 60,000 plus super. Otherwise, I'm keen to continue connecting with customer service and administration candidates who are looking for the next step in their career. So please get in touch with me on the details shown or connect with me on LinkedIn. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.
Lots happening. Hello, Chloe. Lots happening in the Western Sydney market, so I'm sure we'll make sure that the link to Marissa's advertisements are available in the comments there. But we're joined now by Chloe from Western Sydney. So welcome to Facebook Live, Chloe. I know you haven't joined us before, so thank you for jumping on. How are you going?
Good. How are you?
Very well. Thank you. Very well. As I said, pleased to be spruiking my local area. I'm loving being out this afternoon. But you've got a particular opportunity in the supply chain space that you'd like to talk to us about. Tell us what that is.
Yeah. So currently I'm working on a number of amount of roles, but particularly one particular role I'm trying to fill at the moment is for a maintenance manager. So this position is based out in the western suburbs and the industry base is FMCG. So it's quite an exciting opportunity. It's quite a senior opportunity where you'd be managing both the technical aspect of the company as well as managing people going through a big change within the internal organization.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of, are you looking for people who bring specific experience? If someone's watching and they think it could be right for them, what would they need to have in terms of their background?
So strong change management experience. So previously working with an organization that has experienced dramatic change internally and managing people, individuals, going through that change and restructure within the company. Also, we're looking for someone coming from a mechanical and electrical trade experience.
Okay. Okay, excellent. And what sort of salary is on offer for the position and any other benefits?
Yeah, so you're working with an iconic global brand. It's quite a well-known brand actually, and it's got exciting opportunities internally as well to grow within the company.
Okay.
The opportunities as well with the salary, they range from about 135,000 plus super, and you've got a bonus structure in there as well to about 150,000.
Okay, yeah, and I know this particular business you're talking about, and I think there are a number of other benefits, sort of monthly benefits in terms of products, etc., that people get access to, which is nice.
There is.
Okay, great. So if people are interested, if they wanted to know more about it, Chloe, once again, I'll make sure that the job gets, the advertisement, I should say, is in the comments, but how can people connect with you if they'd like to talk to you a bit more?
Yeah, sure. They can contact me directly on my details below. So that'd be on my direct contact line, which is 0282 709 712, or on my email, which is chloem@people2people.com.au. And even if it wasn't for this opportunity, but just in general, wanted to know what was in the market in supply chain, feel free to contact me as well. Happy to have a chat about that.
Great. Yeah, I know, because I sit in the same office as Chloe pretty regularly, and I know the supply chain team is definitely busy. So if you've got any experience in any of those areas, I think that the guys would like to talk to you. All right. Thank you for joining us, Chloe.
Thanks for having me. You too.
Cheers.
Thank you.
So now we're going to chat to, last but certainly not least, Hannah Nielsen, who is in our Sydney office today and is from our Sydney legal team. There she is. Hello, Hannah. How are you going?
Good. Just here in sunny CBD. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, you've got a nice backdrop behind you there. You're looking like you're sitting at the news desk or something, which is it's actually my childhood dream, which is a slightly weird ambition for a 7-year-old to be a newsreader. Anyway, sharing far too much. So tell me, you've got a couple of opportunities that you're working on at the moment, is that right?
Yeah, so I've got 2 opportunities that I wanted to discuss. The first one is a senior legal secretary / paralegal role. It's working with a national mid-tier law firm that specialise in plaintiff personal injury. So this role is actually supporting the managing partner. So they're looking for someone that does have proven experience within that particular area of law. They're sort of looking for someone that would be looking to take the next step and really get their hands on more of those paralegal responsibilities responsibilities as well. So someone that's wanting to take a step up from just standard administration within the legal industry. Now, in terms of what they can offer you for this position, they do offer flexible working arrangements. There is an opportunity for someone to join the firm on a 4-day-a-week basis, and they're quite a close-knit working team as well. So in terms of other benefits, they've got social events, sporting teams, they really offer a work-life balance, and they're quite a friendly and collaborative team environment. In terms of that opportunity, they're looking to pay a maximum of around $95,000, including super, for that role.
Okay, so it could be a full-time job, or it could be a 4-day-a-week job. They're open to considering someone 4 days if it's the right candidate.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a bit of an indication, sort of culturally, around flexibility and that sort of thing. Excellent. And you've got one other as well that you wanted to share with us?
I do. So this particular role, it's working with a more boutique-sized firm located in the Sydney CBD also. It's a legal secretarial role, and it's supporting one partner and one associate across conveyancing and wills and estates and probate. So again, really need someone that has that proven experience specifically in the probate and conveyancing space. Someone that has had experience using PEXA as well is absolutely preferable. Because they are more of a boutique firm, absolutely, you have that close knit working team environment where they can really sort of mentor you in the role. In terms of salary for this particular position as well, they're looking to pay a maximum of $80,000 package.
Yeah. Okay. And if I was in the Sydney office, I think on Wednesday, and it sounded like all of you legal consultants were absolutely flat out. So if someone's watching and they don't fit that brief, but they might have some legal experience, you'd still like to talk to them. Yes, there are lots of opportunities.
Absolutely. Not even myself, just across the team. We've got a lot of opportunities at the moment across various areas of law and different levels within the industry. So if you are looking for work, or if you do know of anyone in your network who might be looking for a similar role, then absolutely reach out to myself. My best contact number is 02 8270 9770, and my email address is just hannah@people2people.com.au.
Excellent. Thank you, Hannah. All the best finding candidates for that role. Thanks for joining us. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you. You too.
See ya. So, yeah, as you can tell just from the brief conversations I've had with Hannah and with Chloe, there are lots of opportunities. Nearly all of the consultants who are in the team are working on lots of jobs and really struggling at times to find the right sort of candidate. So if you're looking for an opportunity in the market, I'd encourage you to reach out to one of the consultants within People2People. I don't want to miss the opportunity either to plug our latest market report. So we release an employment market update report every year. We've just released our 2021 report very recently in the last week or so. So if you'd be interested to get some insights or meet with a consultant to talk through that as well, you can contact us and we can try and arrange that for you. So last but not least is our Twitter poll. So a little bit of fun to round out the Friday broadcast. So Jayden, I think from last week it was coffee related. So anything to do with coffee is right up my alley. So let's have a look here. The question was, what kind of office personality are you? And the winner there, the resounding winner actually, is that most people would class themselves as a cappuccino, which somebody has, I don't know who's come up with this poll, but has decided that cappuccino drinkers are creative. So I include myself amongst that group. So I'm happy to take that, although nearly 23% of people are not on the list. So we have a little bit of a running joke when I'm in the Parramatta office that whoever takes the coffee orders needs a long, long piece of paper, because there's people having lactose-free, triple shots, extra hot, cold, very complicated coffee orders. So maybe those people are included in not in the list section there. But the poll for this week, Jayden, can you just pop that up for us? I know it's around, obviously vaccinations is very, very topical at the moment, and we're just really interested to know how people would feel if they were requested or directed by their employer to get vaccinated. So please, if you can jump on and give your thoughts and responses there, that's, I think, an interesting topic just to be having a conversation about. And I know in some industries it's really mandated, but in others it'll be fairly flexible. So keen to know what people's thoughts are around that. That really brings us to the end. So thank you again for joining us. All of the job advertisements will be in the comments if they're not already there. I'll make sure that some of the resources and the data that I shared is also available. Please, if you'd like to get a copy of our market report, you can reach out to us, and we'll be back at the same time next week. So thanks so much for watching, and have a great weekend.